Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Video in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the 1994 rebuild of the Detroit Lions. That is right, last episode we started it, and technically we started it in 1995, if we're being totally honest, because I accidentally had saved the first year roster from the Ravens series over top of something that I used when I loaded in this series, so we were already having the 1994 draft class, or 1995 draft class in the game. It's a whole thing. We're here in 1995, 1996, 1997. The 1997 draft class is coming up in this episode. Cross your fingers it doesn't crash, because at this point I feel like I have to say that every single time, since that's what happened with the Ravens. And I remember I've got a couple backups, so we can keep that in mind. Hopefully we can get through another season. If you guys go to enjoy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started rebuilding the Detroit Lions in 1996 and get ready for the 1997 draft. This is the roster headed into 1996. Barry Sanders still here, still cooking, still a 99 overall, 27 years old. We are looking to get him a championship before he calls it a career. We've also got Herman Moore. We drafted Terrell Owens and Joe Horn in the draft this year, so I'm liking the talent at receiver. We also drafted Jonathan Ogden. We had a pretty good draft in 1995, I will say that much. Or 1996, I should say. You know what I mean. We had a pretty good draft last episode. We have a good team. On defense, we drafted Ray Lewis. We drafted Larry Izzo. We've got Luther Ellis, who turned into an X Factor. He was a star development player when the season started. He's now an X Factor. We also traded for Michael Strahan and William McGinnis. So the right side, or the left side of our defense is pretty strong. Pretty strong. We still need a little bit of work, obviously, on this defense. But right now, we're looking pretty good. We will load in the 1997 NFL draft class to get ready to go. And we will see kind of what we're feeling. So 1997 is now in place. This is the Orlando Pace draft class. I'm not going to say that Orlando Pace is off my board. Just because we took Jonathan Ogden means nothing. I'm a huge Orlando Pace guy, so I'm not saying anything. Sean Springs also on my board because we have ourselves the need at corner. Jake Plummer. I do love me some Jake the Snake Plummer, so I could be looking at him. Even Coy Detmer could be on the table for us as a possible quarterback. And obviously not a starter, but could be an option. Running backs. We have Barry Sanders, but I would not pass up a Tiki Barber or a Corey Dillon if they fall to us. If they fall to us. Now, as far as receivers go, not a whole lot of options. I'm glad we got Terrell Owens and Joe Horn when we did, because there's not really a ton of guys that I need to go after, unlike last season when I wanted Terrell Owens and Joe Horn. So we can pretty much pass on wide receivers, but tight end Tony Gonzalez I like a lot. We did get him with the Ravens, but he's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then we've got offensive line. Obviously, both Pace and Jones would be fantastic additions to the team. Left guard, I'll put Bob Sapp on there just because I like Bob Sapp, the name. Center, we'll put Rod Payne on there. Right guard, Right tackle, I mean, we could just move one of the other right tackles, or left tackles to right tackle. Defensive ends, anybody that I want, doesn't look like it. Marcellus Wiley and Jason Taylor, two guys I'm interested in, because we need to help. We need to give Michael Strahan some help, because he's pretty young and he's good, but we need to give him a running mate. So one of those two guys would fit perfectly there. D tackles. Anybody gonna fit D tackles? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not though. Pat Williams. We'll go for Pat Williams. See what we got with him. And then we've got ourselves left outside linebackers, James Farrier, or Farrier, I think is how you would say. I don't remember how to say his name. Who cares? He's not going to be on our team. Mike Vrabel, though, definitely. Definitely the Vrabe. Mustache and all. But probably nobody else. Middle linebackers, Not really feeling any of the middle linebackers. We already got Ray Lewis. Peter Boulware could be an option. Wouldn't second guess it if I did take him. I'll put him on the list. We probably won't be in position to get him anyway. And then we get to the corners. Chris Canty I'll put on there. Sam Madison I'll put on there. Rondé Barber I'll put on there. A lot of good corners in this class. I could certainly see myself taking one, maybe even two of them if the picks fall that way. And then the safeties, Darren Sharper. Absolutely. I might take him just because I like Darren Sharper. Rob Kelly, John Walker, Marcus Wembley. Strong safeties aren't impressing me that much. And then we go to the kickers and punters. So we've got our board for year number 2. We'll see where the picks fall. We also need to know what our draft picks are. I don't remember what my draft picks even consist of. So we've got our... What picks? I'm in the wrong thing. Going back and forth from different Maddens is kind of confusing because they changed the layout a little bit. All right, so what do our draft picks look like? We have 16 right now. We only have one first-round pick. I didn't know if I traded anything or not, so I didn't trade anything, so we only have our own first-round pick. I don't know how good or bad we're going to be. That's the big question. I'm not really too sure how good or bad we're going to be. We can start simulating here. Week number 1 against the LA Rams. They're not as good as us. That doesn't always mean that they're going to lose. And they beat us. So there you go. They weren't as good as us, but we still lose to them. We're still figuring out that quarterback position. Don't worry. Once we figure out the quarterback position, we'll be right off to the races. Absolutely. I need to make sure that we have the right scouts, though. What's our scout? Our 3-star scout is a free safety, strong safety scout. I'm going to fire you. Sorry, Nicole Hawkins. But your job is now not needed. Although I can't fire you now, so your job is safe. Congratulations. I thought I could fire them at any point. I guess not. Whatever. I guess her job stays. Simulate week number 2 against the Vikings. Now remember, I'm still a little bit iffy about jumping into games because of the whole crashing thing. I don't want that to happen. I will jump in and play one game. Ooh, we did win against the Vikings, and we have a breakout player for the Falcons. It is Jocelyn Borgella, who I think is normal. Yeah, he's normal going up to possibly going up to star development against the Atlanta Falcons. That's nice. I think we will jump in and play the Packers because that's a nice little rivalry game. We get to go to Lambeau to play Brett Favre, all those people. So we'll simulate this game against the Falcons. Hopefully Borgella gets the development upgrade that they needed. And we lost the game against the Falcons, but he did it. Jocelyn Borgella is now a star development player for the Detroit Lions. Beautiful. Beautiful. And now we take on the Packers and Brett Favre. We're 1-2 on the season. 4 upgrade points for Borgella. He's now become quite the corner. And I just want to make sure that they actually gave it to him. Sometimes they don't give it to him, although that might be Madden 24. Is that Madden 24 or 22? Okay, they did give it to him. Perfect. Borgella is now star development. So is Clay down there. So why is he... oh, because he's a safety. That's why. I was going to say, why is he a freaking 81 overall not starting? But it's because we only have 2 corners on the team that are actual real names and not just a free agent. So we need to get corner. That is for sure. That's why I was talking about possibly getting multiple corners in the draft this year. But we'll see how it plays out. Let's simulate... and not simulate. Save our files. Save both the real file and the backup file. Just to be on the safe side. And then we will... I should probably also save that autosave as well. Because I don't think it autosaves for the second one. So we'll save that one. Okay, perfect. So now we've got everything covered. We're going to jump in and play the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau against Brett Favre, Reggie White, all the boys. Let's go get it. All right, big first quarter lead. Let's take the ball and drive down the field and score here with Barry Sanders in this Lions offense. We have ourselves Terrell Owens and Herbin Moore and Joe Horn, so hopefully they get some play time here. We will snap it, hand the ball off to Barry, and Barry will get a few yards. Nothing crazy, nothing special. He's got 473 yards so far and 6 touchdowns. Maybe we can get him an MVP. A much deserved MVP, if I do say so. So we got ourselves Moore and Horn out on the field. Nice to see. Barry gets another handoff, and he gets a nice carry. Nothing special. But we'll go play action. A little play action shot with Mitchell. because it should be open, and it overthrow. Mitchell overthrows Horn, and we got a punt. And I didn't mean to actually punt it, so I have to do this. We punt the football to Green Bay. Not what I wanted to do. We need a tackle, please. Thank you very much. Okay, that didn't go the way that I wanted it to go on the first drive of the game. That's okay. We'll see what the defense has to do. Brett Favre looks like he's going to be dominating. 10-0? How'd they do that? Now it's 13-0. All right, looks like we're going to get spanked. 20-0. Oh, yeah, we're getting cooked. We are going to get absolutely walked. Not even dog walked. We're going to get, like, people walked. It's going to get crazy. Can I throw this to Perriman? Maybe. I'm not going to try it, though. It's going to be dropped off the deflection. 77 yards and an interception for Mr. Mitchell. Looks like he is not the guy. Sorry, Mitchell. You are not the father. That's going to be Joe Horn. Big catch. Is that first down or 4th and inches? First and goal. Love to see it. Love to see it. We'll give the ball to Barry, and maybe Barry can score a tutty. Can he do it? Barry Sanders tried. Under a minute to go in the half. We're going to keep giving it to Barry because I think he can do this. I think he can score this touchdown. Barry Sanders! He's into the end zone. He just stretched it enough. And Barry Sanders has scored himself a touchdown against the Green Bay Packers. You know what? Let's jump in and go against Brett Favre here. And nope, forget about that. We're going to half. We are going to the halftime locker room. Down 20-7, but we did score. We did. Oh no, it's not half. It is. They called a timeout to kick a field goal. Oh, those little people. I can't believe you. It's 23-7, 26-7. It's getting ugly here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 26-7. Handoff to Barry. He's got not a lot of running room, but he gets enough. 63 yards and a touchdown for Barry. Third down again. Where do we go with this ball? Nowhere, because it's the end of the third quarter. Why do I always time that up so poorly? All right, double cross. Is T.O. out there? I can't see because there's too many X factors on the Packer defense. Is that T.O. out there? I don't think it is. I think it's Perriman. We're going to go to him anyway, and it's Perriman with the catch. 2 interceptions for Mitchell is not what I want to see. I want to see 2 touchdowns, not 2 interceptions. We're going to give this ball to Barry Sanders again because that's our entire offense right now, in the early stages at least. Why wouldn't it be? It's Barry Sanders. You'd be stupid not to give him the football, especially at the 12-yard line when he can break off a touchdown run at any moment. He's going to fall forward, and he's finally called down at the 8. I thought he was going to stay up for a second. Thought he was going to stay up. We got Herman Moore, probably the only guy that has an option here, but we're going to change this to a run. Might as well. What do we have to lose? Barry Sanders, first down. Is that Reggie White on top of him like that? It is. That's a massive human being. Massive human being. And we're at the 6-yard line. Snap it. Hand it to Barry. Get in the end zone. Barry, he almost rolled in. He's at the 2. We'll go back to him one more time. Come on. Give me some Barry Sanders in the end zone, and he's got it. He's got the touchdown, and he's going to spike the football. I wish you could hand the ball to the referee, but it is what it is. Barry Sanders spikes it, and he scores 2 rushing touchdowns today, so I'll take that. It's a nice little W. But I think that's going to be all that we do today. I think that's going to be all. We did score another touchdown, though. It's 21-29. We are actually in this game. I hate the fact that we're in this game because we shouldn't be, but we are. And Brett Favre is out there on the field. 1:17 to go. 1st and 10. Down by 8. We are. And that's going to be Michael Strahan getting in the backfield, stopping Allen for a loss. Good job, Big Mike. Ooh, that was a big runoff. That was a huge runoff. I guess I should have used one of my timeouts. I didn't think the accelerated clock would kill me that much. Ooh, get there, get there, get there, get there. Stop him. Good job, Ray Lewis. We'll call a timeout there. We still have all 3 of them, so we might as well use one. I don't think it's going to work in our favor, but we'll try it. They're probably going to run this again, so I'm going to blitz my linebackers. Maybe get Ray Lewis in the backfield. Strahan in the backfield, somebody like that. Oh, Jack Del Rio, I hate you. Why did I sign you? I hate your guts. I want you to fall down. Jack Del Rio missed the tackle and allowed for that to happen. Unforgivable. Jack Del Rio will be fired at the end of the season. All right, we are going to go into Green Bay and lose. Look, did you see that touchdown? That was crazy. That was a crazy angle on that touchdown for Barry Sanders. We will go into Green Bay and unfortunately lose, but I mean, who are we kidding? We knew that we were going to lose that game, didn't we? We knew that we were going to lose that game. It's not really that much of a shocker if you're a real Lions fan. You know that we weren't going to beat the Packers there. But that's okay because we're trying to be bad still. Well, not trying to be bad, but we still are bad. We get some big upgrades, though. Ray Lewis gets one. Now we play the Raiders. 1-3 on the season. I think the Vikings are also bad this year. Didn't they beat us, though? I think they beat us. Oh, no, the Vikings are decent. 2-2. Oh, they're 1-3 as well. All right, maybe this is our second W of the year. It's not. It is not our second W of the year. It is a big fat loss. Another one on the resume. Are we gonna get a win at all? Can I buy a win? The 1-4 Chiefs, also bad. Yeah, there we go. We beat the Chiefs for our second win of the season. Joe Horn gets himself an upgrade. And we will start saving just to be on the safe side of things. Week number 7, 4-2 Panthers. 4-2 Carolina Panthers. They shouldn't really be that good, though, should they? But they're playing pretty well. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Mock draft number 2 is out as well. And it's going to be a win. 34-31 over the Panthers. And now we take on the Chargers. Are we going to get back-to-back for the first time this year? No, we lose. And now we head to play the Packers again. So we just got beat by them earlier in the season. Now we have to play them one more time. They are 5-2, leading the division like the Packers do. But we beat them 16-13. All right. Maybe we're not as bad as I once thought we were. Taking on the Bears, and we beat the Bears. We are 5-5 on the year for some reason. This team is winning ball games mainly because of Barry Sanders, I would assume. All right. Ooh, we got focus players. Don't want to skip past that. Focus players. I'm going to use it on Sean Springs. I'm going to use it on other people. Sean Springs. I'm going to use one on Marcellus Wiley, and then I'll use another one on Pat Williams to find out how good he is since he's projected undrafted or potentially undrafted. All right, and we'll simulate the game against Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay, they suck, but they beat us because of course they do. I can't have anything nice, can I? This Borgella dude is developing like crazy now that he's got star development. I'm pretty excited about that. Week 12. We'll start simulating or start saving again just to be on the safe side of things. And then we will move forward. Keep simulating a little bit. I don't think I'm going to jump in anymore. Like I said, I'm just a little too gun shy about it crashing. And it still doesn't mean that it's going to crash just because I jump in. It still could very well crash while I'm just doing this. It's done that plenty of times before, but still a little bit sketched out about jumping in. Right now, at least. Maybe I'll get more bold as the seasons go along. We're losing a bunch of games, but more importantly, our young guys are developing. Ray Lewis, Luther Ellis, all these guys are developing, getting some good overalls, getting some good upgrade points. Taking on the Bengals, who are also pretty bad this year, and we beat them pretty handily as well. Taking on the Vikings, they're 8-6. We're 7-7. We are right there in the thick of things if we continue to win, and we do. 8-7. Taking on Denver and Shannon Sharp. Can we beat them? No, we lose. We're 8-8. We needed that one to stay with the Bears. If we would have won that game, we would have been 9-7. The Bears would have been 9-7, and this game probably would have been for the playoffs. But no matter what happens here, I don't think we're going to make it. Even if the Bears lose and we win. We do win, and the Bears did lose, but we're not in the playoffs, as you can see. I didn't think we would be. So we still miss out on the playoffs, unfortunately, for the second straight year. But we'll get there. We will get there. Don't you worry, child. We will get to the playoffs and hopefully win a Super Bowl before Barry Sanders calls it a career. He's still decently young. He's only like, what, 28 next year? So we still got a good amount of time with him. We don't have to worry too much. But we will take a look at the stats. And then we will go to the simulate the playoffs. Actually, let's simulate the playoffs first. Let's simulate to the Super Bowl. And then we'll take a look at the stats. How did Barry Sanders do? How did Terrell Owens do? Ray Lewis, all these guys. Very curious to see how they did. And the Super Bowl, I'm guessing, is going to be Cowboys, and it is. It's Cowboys and Chargers in the Super Bowl. Ray Lewis gets another upgrade point. He's already an 87 overall. Beautiful. All right, stats on the season. How did we do? So, Scott Mitchell, 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I appreciate that. Barry Sanders had 1,900 yards and 21 touchdowns. Give this man the MVP. He's the GOAT. Absolute GOAT. Herman Moore, 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kerry Cash, 860 and 3. Brett Perriman, 727 and 4. So, it looks like Terrell Owens didn't even play this season. Joe Horn had 577 yards and 7 touchdowns. All right, not too great. I wish Terrell Owens would have played, but he's just, I guess, too low of an overall for some reason. Ray Lewis, 117 tackles, led the team. Robert Massey, 98. Benny Blades, 91. Willie Clay, 86. Borgella had quite the season. No sacks, but 3 picks and 86 tackles, and he went up to star development. We'll see what he is now. Maybe he's up to superstar. Who knows? Tackle for loss leader was Michael Strahan. Glad we made the trade for him. 17 for him. Pritchard had 13. Thomas had 12. Ellis had 11. Sack leader was McGinnis with 13. 12.5 for Broderick Thomas. 8.5 for Strahan. 6.5 for Pritchett. 5 for Luther Ellis. Pick leader was Ray Lewis, and Benny Blades with 3, along with Borgella. And then 2 for Massey, 1 for a couple other guys. And then Jack Del Rio, who screwed us. Absolutely screwed us. I really hope that Barry Sanders won the MVP. 1,900 yards and 21 touchdowns. I mean, give it to him. Give it to him. Don't let the freaking Emmitt Smith get the MVP. He gets it too many times. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. What's the recap? Steve Young wins the MVP. At least it wasn't Emmitt Smith. But Steve Young wins the MVP. But Barry Sanders gets Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, I guess that's fine. I mean, he didn't get the MVP, but he does win Offensive Player of the Year. Kevin Smith wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Derek Thomas is Defensive Player of the Year. Eddie George, running back for Washington, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Paul Grasmanis, defensive tackle for the Texans, is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we do win one award, which is nice. I'll take that. But it's not the award that I wanted to win necessarily. Still a nice award to win, but not the MVP. Not the MVP. I'm just glad that Emmitt Smith didn't win it, because Emmitt Smith seems to win every single MVP all the time. So let's start saving again before we dive deep into this off-season. We got to re-sign some players. I didn't do that at all during the season. I probably should have done that. But it's okay. It's all right. Who do we have? Oh, I should probably take a look at the, before I do that, I should probably take a look at the retirements. See any big names retire. We've got Irving Fryer. Gary Zimmerman. Anybody else? Carl Banks. William Perry, the refrigerator, calling it a career. Bo Jackson, after 7 seasons, his hips couldn't take it. Hips. Couldn't take it. All right, so some big names, but not as many big names as last season. Players that are ready to negotiate. We have 15 to talk to. It's Barry Sanders, Lomas Brown, Larry Tharp. Oh, there's a lot of people. Good thing we have a good amount of money. There's a lot of people here. We got to get Barry. So, Barry, I'm going to give you the world. 7-year contract, probably upwards of $9 million, and we're going to give you a freaking $8.5 million bonus just because you're Barry Sanders. $123 million, he's coming back. Barry Sanders is back. Lomas Brown, I wonder if we could trade Lomas Brown. I'll try. I'll try my very best. because we have Jonathan Ogden. So maybe, and we're going to bring back Larry Tharp, hopefully. So maybe we could get something out of Lomas. He is very old. Big contract for Larry Tharp. Mike Compton, got to bring him back. So we'll offer him $9 million salary and probably $5.5 million on the bonus. $58 million in total. He's coming back as well. Michael Strahan needs a new contract, and we're going to offer him like a 6-year deal because he's Michael Strahan. And we know he's going to be amazing. And then we're starting to run out a little bit of money here. That's okay. I'm made of money. Don't you worry. He's coming back. Now it's to the guys that don't necessarily matter too much. But I do want to bring back Borgella, even though he is kind of expensive now. But he's young, and he's got star development. So I do want to bring him back. $46 million, is that enough? And he's coming back. Scott Mitchell. That's way too much money for Scott Mitchell. I can't bring him back, especially because we don't have really the money to do that. So Kelvin Pritchett as well. We might need to trade some of these guys. So let's start with Lomas Brown. See if we can get anything for him. I'm not 100% sure if we can. Although I do want to save now that we signed those guys to contracts. So let's save. So I don't have to do it again. But we're going to have to... I guess we're going to have to figure out our quarterback situation a little bit sooner than I thought. Because Scott Mitchell is going to be gone. So I don't know where we're going to do for quarterback next season. It might be quite the bad year if I can't figure that out. Alright, so Lomas... We're going to throw him on the board, see if anybody wants him for one. So the Bengals do, and the Bengals have a good draft pick because I think they sucked. They have the number 4 pick. Lomas for the number 4 pick is actually closer than it probably should be. What else do we want to give up? Who else are we not bringing in? We're not bringing back Doug Whittle, and we're not bringing back Kelvin Pritchett. They want Pritchett. Okay, we're speaking some languages. Do they need a quarterback? You want Scott Mitchell? Wow. Okay, that was very close. If only we could trade more than just 3 things. Is there any other team that wants all 3 of them that has a good pick? The Chargers just went to the Super Bowl. Cardinals have pick 20. Colts need all 3 of them. They have pick 13. That's probably more doable, but I want to see if there's anything lower than that. 22 for the Dolphins. Falcons have pick 21. Giants have pick 24. Jaguars have pick 3, but we're not. If we couldn't get pick 4, we can't get pick 3. The Jets have pick 23. Packers were probably pretty good, but I'll check just to see. Pick 27. Panthers pick 8. That's probably a little bit more doable. Let's talk to Carolina. See if we can get a 1st-round pick and a 3rd-round pick in 2025. They say decline. I bet this goes through just straight up. So Lomas, Mitchell, and Pritchett for the 8th overall pick is accepted. We now have a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, along with the one that we already had, which is pick 17, which is a top 20 pick. And now we don't have a quarterback, so that's fun. What else do we do here? Brett Perriman is honestly a little too expensive for my taste, so we're going to move on from him. Is there anybody that has green interest in him? No, just a couple teams that have yellow. All right, don't stress too much trying to bend over backwards to get Brett Perriman. Yikes. Willie Roaf. I love that picture, Willie Roaf. Do they have anybody that I want? What's their draft pick look like? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Perriman. Their draft pick is pick 5. Well, we can't do that. I might be able to get a 2nd-round pick out of Brett Perriman. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a 1st. I highly doubt it, unless it's like pick 29. No, I'm not going to be able to get a 1st. I don't even think I can get a 2nd for him. I'll try it with the Saints. Can I get a 2nd-round pick for Brett Perriman? Probably not. Probably not. What about a 3rd-round pick? Ooh, very close. I bet if I give them a 7th, they'll take it. How about you take my 7th rounder this year? Trade offer accepted. So Perriman's heading to the Saints, and we get ourselves an extra 3rd-round pick. So we have 2 firsts, we have a 2nd, and 2 3rds this year. No 4. But that's all fine and dandy. Do we need to trade anybody else? I don't think we do. Although Broderick Thomas is making a little bit of money that I don't really like. Strahan's making a lot of money because we just paid him. Artie Smith, Tharp, Compton, Gisler. Oh, we need to trade Whittle. And we need to trade... Do we need to trade Gisler? I don't know. Ooh, a couple teams are interested in Whittle. I like that. Is there a team that wants to give a player for him? Not the Steelers. What about a first-round pick? Pick 28. Doable. Very, very doable. I'm not going to give you Mike Compton, but I can give you... Not my center. What can I give you? I can give you free agent. Somebody. And then I can give you a draft pick, I guess. How about a 5th rounder in 2025? Get this done, please. Trade offer accepted. We have 3 first-round picks this year. I don't know what we're going to do with those 3 first-round picks this year, but we have 3 first-round picks. Is there anybody that I forgot about? No, everybody else can just walk. So we have, what, like $20 million to work with in free agency? That's enough. We probably don't need to bring in anybody except for maybe a quarterback and maybe another receiver, or maybe another corner, actually. So let's go and save both of these. Multiple first-round picks. At each stage of the draft, we have a top 10 pick, a top 20 pick, and a top 30 pick. So we have multiple stages of draft picks. We need to advance the week to get to free agency. Let everybody else walk. And let's check it out. What do we have? What do we have? We have Emmitt Smith. We don't need Emmitt Smith because we have Barry Sanders, but Emmitt Smith is available. Quarterbacks. Oh, I want to do it. Warren Moon's also here. I want to do it. He's all of our money. Let's first see if there's anybody. I mean, we could go Warren Moon, who's a lot cheaper, but that's not as fun. Okay, we'll go through the rest of the team. O.J. McDuffie. There's a couple receivers. Yada, yada, yada. Tight end. Offensive tackles. I mean, we probably shouldn't go for Joe Montana just for the memes. There's Lincoln Kennedy. We probably shouldn't go with Joe Montana for the memes. We should probably space our money out and get some backups. But, Bruce Smith, 34 years old. But I want Joe Montana. I kind of do. I know it's probably not the smartest thing to do because there's not a whole lot of... We don't have a whole lot of depth on this team. But there's no injuries and we're simulating, so it's not like depth matters. I kind of want to get Joe Montana. I kind of do. It's going to be all of our money. Maybe I can lower it slightly. How's that? How's that? Is he going to accept that? Joe Montana, I want you as the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. It's not a smart idea whatsoever, but I don't care. I don't care. Give me Joe Montana on this roster. Mock draft number 4 coming out. We don't care about mock draft number 4. We care about signing Joe Montana. Is he signing? He didn't choose just yet. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. He still has no more offers because he's 40 years old. But he still has not decided if he's coming to play in Detroit. He's been in Kansas City. He's been in San Francisco. Where else is he going to go? Why not head to lovely Detroit, Michigan, and come play for the Lions? Team up with Barry Sanders. Throw to Terrell Owens. He accepted. Joe Montana is our quarterback here in year 3. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Oh, it's amazing. Joe Montana. Welcome home to Detroit, Michigan. Oh, I love it. I love it. He doesn't have the throw power he used to, but he's the legend. He's the legend. 40-year-old Joe Montana is the quarterback. And we got ourselves quite the receiving core for him to throw to, and a Hall of Fame left tackle for him to block for him. So let's go and see what this draft has to work with, but we got some private workouts to take care of first. All right, so Let's go over here. Private workouts. Who we gonna send to the private workouts? I don't know. Probably Pat Williams, just to figure out how good he actually is. Darren Sharper is a top 5 player. We knew that going in. We want to know how good Vrabel is, or a little bit how good Vrabel is. And then we want to know probably who else is a reasonable pick for us. Maybe Tony G is a reasonable pick. Maybe Chris Canty. I'll use it on Chris Canty. So Pat Williams, Vrabel, and Canty will be my 3 private workouts, and we will get to the draft. Do I want to trade up? Did I spend all my stat points? Do we have the tree fully bought out? No, not yet. Good thing I looked at that. We will do this, spend all this, and then make sure that these are all made so it's a little bit easier to sign, to re-sign players that are very talented. Because I should have had that for Barry Sanders, but we didn't have it. All right. We'll simulate to free agency number 4 so we can check out mock draft number 5 and see just where they have us taking good old players at pick number 8, whatever other picks we have, 28 and 17. Is that the other one that we have? All right, let's do a little bit of a save situation. Lions 2, Lions 1. I feel like this has been a W off season because 1, we brought back Barry Sanders, which is much needed, and 2, we signed Joe Montana. Are you kidding me? Who doesn't want to sign Joe Montana, even if he is 40 years old? So Orlando Pace is going to go number 1 overall to the Cleveland Browns. That's a little upsetting, but hey, he's Orlando Pace. I love Orlando Pace, but we're probably not going to be in the position to get him. They have us taking Jake Plummer. That's not going to happen. We could trade up 1 spot and get Tony Gonzalez. Then a little bit further down the board, they have us taking Marcellus Wiley, which is probably not going to be happening in the first round, at least. And then they have us taking Sam Madison, which is not that bad. I would not hate taking Sam Madison, but I kind of want to get up and get Walter Jones. If we're not going to get Orlando Pace, we might as well try to get ourselves Walter Jones, and then have him on the right side, have the other dude, Jonathan Ogden, on the left side, and then we got our offensive line figured out, and we just trade the right tackle that we have right now and get some extra picks. We can be good to go. It's a plan. It's a foolproof plan. So let's trade up, although then we can't come away with Sam Madison, though. It's fine. We'll be fine. Let's trade up to get pick number 25. That has him taking Chris Canty. We don't stick it at number 17 and take Marcellus Wiley. That's just not going to happen. So maybe we can still come away with a corner. But let's trade up slightly from our final pick. Trade up a little bit. So pick number 28, we can trade up. Who has pick number 26? Pick number 26. There's pick 25. Pick number 26 is held by the Texans. All right, welcome to my trade. No, you say no. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. And we'll back out because Madden likes to do that, where they glitch the pick. All right, so we now have pick number 26. Is that what we needed, or did we need 25? We needed 25 just to make sure that we can get him. Okay, so we'll trade up 1 more spot with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the wrong thing. We will trade up 1 more spot with the Philadelphia Eagles, get Walter Jones, have another tackle on the team for the future. He can be right tackle or something. Philadelphia, bada bing, bada boom. Swap picks there. Perfect. All right, so let's head to the draft now and see what happens. Number 1 pick is going to be Orlando Pace. No shocker, he's the greatest. He is the greatest. All right, let's simulate quickly before we jump in. Save that. And save number 2. Okay. Let's get drafting, ladies and gentlemen. The 1997 NFL Draft is underway with the Cleveland Browns having the first pick. They will take Orlando Pace out of the Ohio State University. The Raiders have the second pick. They take Sean Springs out of the Ohio State University. Darrell Russell goes 3. Bengals have pick 4. They take Peter Boulware. Ike Hilliard goes 5 to the Saints. The Ravens take Bryant Westbrook. And the Rams will take Tony Gonzalez. We have pick number 8. We are going to grab ourselves... Who was the plan? It was to take... Who was the plan? Was it? It wasn't Tony Gonzalez, was it? Did I mess up? What was the plan? What was the plan? Was it to take Tony Gonzalez? Did I mess up and not trade for Tony, or trade up to get Tony Gonzalez? I don't remember. This is the pick where they had us taking Marcellus Wiley. We're not going to do that because he's a second and third round pick. And we have a couple of those, right? Oh, only one. We have 2/3. What was the plan here? I don't remember. I'm going to trade down, I guess. Because I don't remember what the plan was. Even if there was a plan. So we're going to trade down. And we have interesting picks. Anybody offer me 2 firsts? The Texans are offering me 2 firsts. They're going to give me my pick back, pick 28. That's kind of funny. I would appreciate 2 first-round picks, and it looks like Houston's the only one offering me that. Green Bay, but I don't really want Green Bay's pick. New York, San Francisco, Atlanta, all the teams that did pretty well this year. Ooh, the Chargers. I know the Chargers just went to the Super Bowl, but they're giving me a first and a second next year. That might be too hard to pass up. Pick 31. The Chargers are pretty good, though. I don't know if I can take the Charger pick. I know it's a second-round pick, too. Cowboys are too good. Dolphins. I'm going to do the Dolphins pick. We'll trade down to pick 22. They can have pick 8. Who are they going to take? They take... Walter Jones. He was projected to go at pick number 26? How do you trade up to get Walter Jones? I hate everything. How do you do that? With my own pick. The disrespect. The absolute disrespect. Alright, we stay at number 17 now. Who are we going to take at number 17? I have no freaking clue. We're going to take probably Darren Sharper or one of the corners, I would guess. Yeah, it's probably going to be Darren Sharper, one of the corners. Let's take Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper. All right. So he's a Detroit Lion now. We pick at number 22. We'll see what happens at that pick. Okay, so then we pick again at pick number 25. So we could come away with a lot of good players here. We could take Tiki Barber or Corey Dillon, but that wouldn't be the smartest thing, would it? It's probably smarter to take a corner because we do need corner. So I think I'm going to grab myself Rondé Barber with this pick. Get another corner on the team because we need corners. We have a very lack of depth at corner, and then we pick at number 25 here, and we could come away with quite a lot of options here. We could grab, again, Tiki Barber or Corey Dillon. They could be the backup to Barry Sanders, maybe the future at running back. Or we could grab another corner in Chris Canty or Sam Madison. I'm kind of conflicted here. I don't really know what I want to do. I kind of want to take Corey Dillon. Or should we take Tiki and get both the brothers? Because we just got Rondé. So should we get Tiki as well? I do like Tiki Barber, but I like Corey Dillon too. I like both these guys. We don't pick again to like the 17th pick of the second round, so I'm assuming both of them won't be there, and I'm assuming both the corners won't be there either. So it's kind of we have to pick our poison here. What do we want? Do we want a backup running back or a backup corner? Or I guess the corner, not necessarily a backup. If they're high enough overall, they probably would start. But this is almost certainly a backup because, or it's definitely a backup because Barry Sanders is too good and he's 99 overall. So do I want either one of these guys or do I want the corner? I think I'm going to do the smart thing and get a corner. So I'm going to take Chris Canty. I think he's going to be better than Sam Madison. So we're going to take Chris Canty. Wow, only normal development for Chris Canty? Really? All right, whatever. That's a little upsetting. Tiki goes the next pick. I'm assuming Corey Dillon's going to go not too much later after. Well, maybe he is. Corey Dillon's going to make it to the second round. Sam Madison goes first pick of the second round. If Corey Dillon makes it to me, I'm taking him. I doubt that he does. And he goes to Baltimore. You know what? If he had to go to any team, I'm glad he went to Baltimore. Okay, so we go to the second round. This has got to be Jason Taylor since Marcellus Wiley's not here anymore. So let's take Jason Taylor. Big pickup. Another defensive lineman adding to the team. We needed to get some help for Michael Strahan, and we did just that. We go into the third round. There goes Bob Sapp. Not a big problem. So all we got left is Vrabel, Delhomme, Detmer, and Pat Williams. So we're going to take Vrabel here with our third round pick. Get a nice linebacker option. We have another third round pick because we made that trade. So I think this could be a trade down spot because there's not really anybody else that I want. And all these guys are projected undrafted. So I'm not going to take them in the third round. So I might as well trade down and see what else I can get. Not sure what I can get. A third and a 4. That 4 is this year. If anybody wants to give me a third and a 4 next year, that'd be beautiful. But it doesn't look like anybody wants to do that. Green Bay wants to give me third and 4 this year, which is nice, but Oh, Miami almost did what I wanted them to do. It looks like 3s and 4s are going to be from separate drafts. Nobody's giving me the exact trade that I want. I got to come away with multiple picks, right? That just feels like I have to do that. So how do we get the best offer? Who's offering me the best? I could just get a solo third, but I feel like that's a waste. This is a pretty decent third round pick. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We could do the Atlanta trade and get a third rounder and then a fourth rounder this year. Maybe swap that for something else. I think I might do that. Let's just do the Atlanta trade. We'll get a third rounder next year and a fourth rounder this year. We didn't have a fourth rounder, so might as well add one to the thing. We get an extra third round pick, and I'm going to trade this pick as well. Maybe we can parlay this into a third round pick? Probably not, though. Yeah, everybody's offering me fourth rounders. That's okay. I didn't think I'd actually be able to parlay into a third. But it looks like... oh, actually, we can. San Francisco and Miami. Okay. I'll take San Francisco. That's 2 third-round picks we just got out of that for next season, which is the 1998 NFL Draft. Next user pick is in the 5th round. And this might be where we start taking undrafted guys, if they're still there. They are still there. So let's get Pat Williams first in the 5th round. Hidden development. Him and Luther Ellis could be pretty lethal. And then we'll probably take Jake Delhomme with our final pick, if he's on the board still. And he is. All right. Jake Delhomme is our backup quarterback to 40-year-old Joe Montana. You know what? Considering we had 3 first-round picks and we didn't get Walter Jones because the Dolphins took him. They snatched him from me. I think that we had a pretty good draft there. We got 77 overall Darren Sharper. We got Rondé Barber, Chris Canty, even though I can't believe he didn't have a development trait. Jason Taylor at 72. Vrabel 71. These are a lot of very talented players. They're going to be helping the team, that's for sure. Highest overall player in the draft was obviously Orlando Pace, Warwick Dunn, Peter Boulware, Tiki Barber was up there. We got a pretty high player in Darren Sharper, so I'll be happy with it. And we add mainly a lot of depth at the defensive spots, which is what we needed to do. We didn't have very much depth at all there. So let's take a look at the team before we end the episode. We've got ourselves what? What do we got ourselves? Generate the best lineup. I probably should have taken one of those running backs. I think I'm meant to sign a running back in free agency if we have the money. I don't think we do, though. Okay, so 4 wide receivers that I like. We've got an okay offensive line, 3 pretty solid players, and then 2 that I'm kind of iffy on. And then on defense, we've got... I'm going to move Darren Sharper to play strong safety so that he starts year 1. I could move Clay, I guess. We're already here. Let's just move Sharper to strong safety. So we'll move Sharper to strong safety so he can play year 1. Clay's right there. Then we've got Vrabel, who's down the board or down the depth chart a little bit. Powell will start at middle linebacker. Taylor, I want you to start. I want Pat Williams to be right there. I want Jonathan Taylor to start at Jason Taylor, not Jonathan Taylor. Running back for the Colts. I want Jason Taylor to start at left end over the guy that we have already. So he can play and get good. So we're going to do that. And I think that's the only other adjustment that we needed to make. So we'll generate the best lineup and then have Taylor start over him. And we definitely needed the corners because before we got Barber and Canty, we had Bargella and we had Massey, and that was it. So adding Barber and Canty is at least giving us some extra bodies. Now next season we need to focus on some linebacker depth. We need to focus on just depth in general. And I don't know, I think we're decent. I think we're a decent squad. We're probably not a playoff team still, even though I guess I don't know what Joe Montana is going to bring to the table. Maybe he brings like 6,000 yards and we make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. That's a possibility. It's not very likely, but it is a possibility. We'll have to wait and see, though. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.